I think it have a mixture of people in every constituency presently. There's not only one race of people in any. Sir, for a matter of fact, you could find some Indos in Lavandil. So you can't tell me it has no pure breed in anywhere. You could go down south and find plenty of fruits. So what is this gentleman trying to allude to? You saw the video? You all saw the live? Bruce, Dominic?
No, I didn't see it.
I trying to understand this man's point of view. They giving their people. Or you ain't seeing giving none. Well, that is the only truthful thing he said. But I want to know where is his statement. Is he saying that only black people support the PNM? So I wonder who all the Minister of Health, the Minister of Agriculture, the Minister of Works, them is African. Or maybe they just think as soon as once it is you're not for them, you're against them, so you're no longer the same race. This has to stop. And you see how far the racist hatred has carried all man. Because this is what they're preaching every day. Poor fella, he must be not very well appraised of the situation in the country and what is really happening. But all they do is feed them. And those are hate every single day. All they are being fed is hate. And we're seeing the product that is coming out from all what it is they're feeding these people. And I would like to warn the administration and the police and the Minister of National Security, do not take this as an isolated incident. You all be very careful and tread in a proper manner to be wary of what this opposition is doing to the society with the hate they continue to spew and encourage in this society to cause a massive division amongst the people, even more divided than it ever was. We have nobody speaking about it, but you know, as you rightfully said, something that was dispelled. They want to come and bring us news. But how come they didn't bring us news? What did you talk about with Mr. Munilal's response? How come they didn't bring that as news? How come they didn't say how much, or the cost of the car that Saddam Hussein bought, how much exemption he gets? You understand? So they didn't care about their people at the time. When it is we had 41 ministers, how many exemptions went through? People all they wake up and stop getting fooled and mamagai and ended up doing the wrong thing. Your lives are at stake. Your children's future is at stake. Dominic, Bruce, you all have a nice day.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce and Dominic.
Morning.
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 Also, add to what Dominic had said just now, earlier on in the program, where he said that the studies that the saying things and when you're done, they do apologize. You know, I watch your part. You remember, if you all remember, before the election last year, it had people going around from the UNC saying that's all the man should lock them in the country because they don't want to keep election. You remember that, Dominic and Bruce? And when you call election now, like you catch them, they start to ball the man clear wait, you don't have to call it yet, and that kind of thing. So I don't like the UNC doesn't know what they want, and they just have people following them. I wanted to bring up a point. Before the last days of Patrick Manning, they call him a dictator. But the same dictator they call him, you know, he called elections before time twice, and she will walk out all the days, 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days. That's the show, and people who following them. I wonder if they don't see these things. Plus, I just want to bring in a part. If you call election before time, it's obvious you will have more, supposed to have more debts owing because remember you didn't fix yourself. One thing. You know, Patrick Manning leaves without owing all these set of debts and owing all these set of contracts. But they had 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days. They planned the directive. And you know, when they leave the country owing So, I mean, there's simple logic to understand. How could you support people like that? You know? And these are things that I'll try to understand the people who they support us in Dominic. And, you know? So I just want to say, I just remind you something that to add to what you had said this morning. And I'm glad to hear what you said Sunday. You go back on what the Prime Minister said and you add 20. And I'll take them and have them with me. Right, Dominic? Thank you all for this contribution. I'll listen off here.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to my brother, Pushling.
Morning.
Good morning to my brother, Dominic.
Morning, Andrew.
Yeah. And I listen to everything, and I keep telling people that is one thing that have the opposition on easy is Munilal and Ramdeen. Ramdeen and the Attack Attorney General, both of them have the opposition easy. And what is the thing that the government put in place, the laws that they put in place, so they can't slip through. That is what have them in this manner, that the behavior. They're confusing because if you really listen to them, where they're telling you, if you listen to them to take a direction, they give you no direction, so they are confused, very well confused. And what I want to say, I heard a fella yesterday talking about OE Health, PNM and PNM thing. I talk about buildings to be painted in Lavantel and all kinds of Lavantel. And they don't understand, and I'm talking to African people, they don't understand because the world economy collapsed. The world don't have money to spend money as before. So you people are paying daily and leave people hungry. And you say all the good they do, and they come in this kind of stupidness, this kind of senseless behavior. People they condemn all of that because they don't have the money. The world don't have the money. Government people will stay home, pay the rent, get them gas money, get them all kinds of things. Where they get money from? And if you want to get them, and only the African behavior, so, you know, the Indians not getting on, so we got to say if they do good or bad. It's staying quiet. That African is their own downfall. Yes, they're dropping like flies. All part of the country is dropping like this because they don't have a direction to go. Have a blessed morning.
Caller, good morning.
Hello?
Morning. Hello. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, hold on, I'm not hearing anything.
You go ahead.
Yes.
You go ahead.
Yes, okay. I want to make an observation. There is a program, I think it's on Saturday. And these are the people, including the gentleman who wanted to get the commissioner of police elected, who want to be, what do you say, the answer to the people's problem. Yet still, they do not want to listen to the people. They have cut us a lot of people who call into the program and do not agree with them, saying, I don't want to hear you, I don't. And even the young man went ahead and he's asking the host of the program to cut him off. He doesn't know. So could you imagine these people being a representative of the people and the person or someone or the people disagree with them, what they're going to do to them or what they're going to say to them? I am saying, if you want to represent people, you have to hear all views. You know, and you don't discriminate, people have their view too. And if you say that the Prime Minister is not doing this and the representative is not doing that, and you want to save the people from these type of people, and forget how they start the Prime Minister and all of that, and you are behaving in that manner, it tells you something, what you're about. You're about no good. Have a good morning.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Morning. Dominic, morning. Morning, I'm a female guru, I'm a male guru, a grandmother in Tobago and Talani and Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Now, yesterday, Aisha had a program. It's not about Aisha's program. according to the lady, I hear, Mr. Wall Street had the same argument, that there is a group of people get to run the government radio station at a particular time. And you know what that lady, that last caller just reminded me? If anybody remember, imagine a government radio station between 2010 to 2015. When you call a government under a government that got into office with 29 seats and told us they were what? The People's Partnership. Don't forget that, right? So they were supposed to represent all the people. Not so? Because there were amalgamation of forces from Labour to even, what was the man who died? The Pan-Africanist, what was his name? Who say he never see people? What was his name? What was his name?
Makandal Daga.
Right. So there was amalgamation down to the Africans, deep into it. Right? Tell us. And when you call on a government radio station, they had 4 clowns. A Chihuahua, a conman, and a man say he represents a group of people from Lavantil, and another one. And when you call them and you air your views, hey, look what happening here with live sport, or look what happening here, they cut you off. And when you call them, hear what you have to say. They call in my prime minister or our prime minister a vaccine vagrant. And when you call the government radio station, so who is more dictator? What you would consider more dictatorship than that? And when you call that station and you say Kamla, they cut you off. You know what you have to say? On a government radio station that I was paying taxes for, you have to say the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Not so? Citizens only don't forget that. So when they want to tell you about dictatorship, I've been through that from 2010 to 2015 with 4 clowns on a government radio station. And I have a man in foreign trying to tell me that he expects this administration to do the same thing. People wake up now. Black people wake up. Please, gentlemen, thank you guys very much. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, man, take care.
Thank you, sir. But one name he left out there, Bruce, was Marcia Brave Boy. She too was on 91.1 and she had a program. Yes. Taxpayers' money was paying for that. But they just forget that, you know. And I always talk about the 50 million voices your government working for you. They forget that. And then you had the pep man, right? Now masquerading as if they counterfeit 1%. Now, don't forget, he wanted to get a spot on. So the radio wasn't bad enough that we had to listen to those clowns. He wanted to get on the TV program called Equal Time for $92,000 a month when money was sharing under live sport. Let's forget that. But yesterday was yesterday and today's today. All of a sudden now he know about corruption and money wasting and so on. But when he wanted $92,000 to host Equal Time, nothing was wrong with that.
Caller, good morning. Hello. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, sir. Anytime I hear that name, vaccine vagrant, you know how it feel. But they remember the man that they call, I forget his name. That had the aeroplane pull out, they shut it down, Ramguli. And they remember she shut down the helicopter and the cars and them. That she had to remember. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Caller, good morning.
Hey, Big Bruce, morning, brother.
Hey, morning.
Hey, Dominic, morning, brother. Bruce,
Morning, sir.
this Stephon Reese, that's happy boy from St. Anthony's, right? What the UNC making on that mission?
You know, I ain't sure.
Check it out. You know, Porky and them cousin, the younger one.
Yeah.
See, that's happy for me now. But not along that area no more. I hear him like he, because a little while I hear him, but from what I can remember, I think happy name is Stephon. Yeah, that's a fierce skin one. One of the reasons there. But hey, Dominic boy happens get people shovel still, right? But happens can I never keep a woman. That's what.
Yeah.
But he attacking people personal life. That fella's good, yes, boy. as I tell people, I clear, you see jealousy and envy, boy, Bruce. When you listen to that squirrel, that uneducated fool, that idiot, Ian Allen, you get the jealousy and the envy. You see, you get brain, when they can't take a doctor out, you get brain and you get built and strength and intelligence. And it's jealousy and envy. They can't handle it. And I will go, all them personal attacks. Philip, all of them, it's jealousy. They have a problem with African people leading. But what I would tell them, jealousy is a female trait, boy. That is a very weak emotion. So when you see men behaving that way, Brucey, for every little thing, you have to wonder how much more female genes they really have inside of them. You understand? Yeah, it's a female trait, that jealousy. Therefore, and check out the men and check out the allegations that was put against them. Now the vaccines reach now, Brucey and Dominic. They don't know what again to say. So it's jealousy, eating and envy, eating up the inside. But they'll deal with that for the next 4 years. No early election ain't calling. And the union, when they come together, when they can only operate that tell in a politics situation. I know the politics. It's plus 25 years I need to I just don't stand a call. When they come and tell Roger, Michael, and he said, when they gather, where if they gather in for? They gather a little uneducated union leader, blow breath to them, with a little 6 seats in Tobago. So all of a sudden now they get a voice. So they try to galvanize on the same man in this bar talk and put it on and try to see if they can use the volatile situation and the lockdown trade and talk about hardship. But the vaccine reach, when they gather and come, when they giving up all the Mercedes Benz, my partner was paying dues after petrol train and the refinery was closed down. What the moratorium on that? Watch all them fellas driving, Bruce. When you look at up your taxi, go down Carnage. All them fellas are fine taste to study them, you know. Them fellas driving Mercedes Benz and BMW and their credit card. They have fine taste and they like fine women. So they gather, all the union, all they gather, and all they piggyback on educated, disgusting Watson, Duke and Tobago. You see the follow them, Dominic? Like a common force. The following was look like a common force because he blew the breath of them. But one thing they ain't talking about, and I will keep reminding people, they ain't talking about the same black prime minister. Bruce come to me and try to empower me to give me shares in the music business. And you know I tell Bruce? I put on my head and I run him. And then I come back on the next side of Bruce and I start talking Bruce all down the road. But me telling people that Bruce offered me shares in the company and now Bruce company making millions of dollars in profit. And tell Roger and OWTU and he said and the Ozzy Warwick and David Abdullah, they're talking about that. Or they have no business acumen. Or they're going to be rabble rousers till all their days, till the end of all their days, boy. Or they have no business acumen. Or they gather and come. Gather behind what's on you. You blow breath to all you. Or they are like now. One man on the port. All the concern about the contracts on the port. Go study them fellas, you know, brother. All the contracts. He had one set of contracts with all them fast ferries. A union leader. That is all them concerned about the pocket. And when they drive, when they gather and come. And my prime minister know all of the tricks. So they come, man. Yeah, fellas are enjoying.
Yes, sir. So we have about 2 more minutes or so before we go to the break. We could probably take another call. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning. Sorry. I didn't realize I get on there. Bruce and Dominic, as we talk about the WTU, the longest while I wanted to get something short and mention this. I want to bring this point to the public. Now, until Roger is claiming that and saying that the government will raise the price of fuel and how bad it will be to people and everything. Now, he's pushing to acquire the refinery, right? He has finances to back him. So I'm asking him this question. So if the government is to then a little more for you, backward, and give you the refinery, what will be the arrangement with us? would you be able to give us the gas at reduced price so the government could pass it on to the consumers of Trinidad and Tobago? Or you expect to sell it at the world prices because you have to satisfy your shareholders, which is the people who invest with you, because they're looking at the dollar and cents. They don't care about subsidies or anything like that. So I'm asking him, who is going to saddle that burden? Because they always like to talk about saddle burden, because one of the reasons why the refineries closed today is because we were purchasing oil on the international market at world prices, refining it here, so you had to pay production and all these other things to get it refined. So there's an additional cost to that because your wages, salaries, all them things to pay. Then now, when we're selling it on the open market in Trinidad and Tobago, you subsidize that. So what you was actually doing, and it's common sense, you're buying at a higher price and selling at a loss. You cannot sustain that. If you have a shop, you're buying your goods from all these suppliers and them, and you are selling it under the price that you are buying it, your shop ain't lasting at all. So we have to understand what it is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Petrotrin was bleeding the treasury, just as Caroni 1975 Limited and all these other things. So I'm asking, this is a question to answer Roger and the OWC. I heard you're just sitting to the public when you think that, and not one journalist asked that question. And there's a fundamental question that we have to know.
You got to wrap it up, buddy. We're going to the break.
Yeah, if they're requiring it, who's going to saddle that burden to give the consumers cheaper gas price? Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, guys, we're going to... We'll be right back. Keep it locked.
I want to address some issues. Big man, born in a poverty, but them thing I don't like. Every ghetto youth had to have the Benz park outside. A pretty girl passing my drink with two black eyes. You can't see life, nice, so nice, yeah. But they talking. All your business out the road and they walking. Watch out it inside the shoe for them parking. I can put one bite on you, so we don't study them. Yo, because you're giving health and strength. So what we do? Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up that. How we go bad mind people. And then protect me back. So what we do? Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up that. Hey! You see all bad mind people? Yo! Stay away from them. Away from them. Away from them. Away from them. Stay away. Away low. Away low. Big man, born in a poverty, but them thing I don't like. True, I say ghetto, but ghetto inside of your mind. Pick up the hustlers, them way, don't need no 9 to 5. You can't see life nice, so. But they talk. All your business out the road and they're walking. What cap it inside your shoes for them barking. I want to see your hands up, so 1, 2, and put your hands out of the air right now. Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up. How we do bad mind people, shine with vehicles, and then protect me back. So what we do? Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up. How we do? All negative vibe. Stay away from them. Away from them. Away from them. Away from them. Stay away from them. Away from them.
Are you experiencing loss of vision, or are your glasses broken? At Value Optical, we're open, and we're here to help. You can have your urgent eyeglasses in 3 days with packages starting at $695. When you visit us, be mindful of the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Please call us toll-free 800-2020 for expert advice on your vision needs or to book your appointment. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. Or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
You matter. I matter. We all matter. And Tobago matters. Join us as we bring our THA community meetings to you virtually, starting Saturday 3rd July every fortnight until Saturday 11th September 2021, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Catch us live on Tobago Channel 5, TTT, Pulse 89.5 FM, Radio Tambourine 92.7 FM, Street 919 FM, and Office of the Chief Secretary and Tobago Channel 5 Facebook pages. Listen out for every week's topic and send your questions to 688-4040 or mainfo@tha.gov.tt. That's mainfo@tha.gov.tt. Join us as we discuss Tobago Matters, because Tobago matters.
Hey, you keeping safe? I hope so. I don't really know what will happen when everything will back up, but the line had to go on. But in the meantime, just come online with the live wire. I'm on the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. Or you could check us out on the live on Facebook at the Street 919 FM or on YouTube at Street TV. Don't forget to share the live. That might just be as important as you keeping safe. So mask up, sanitize, tune in to the Street 919 FM, Lime on the Live Wire, Saturday afternoons, 5 to 8 p.m. Don't worry, I gotta be home in time for the cookie. Keep safe.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in San Luis Grande is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Sundays, Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word from 1 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Wednesdays, we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Facebook, email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Now there's a new way to pay your electricity bill.
Quick pay your bills today. Quick pay, it's a whole new way.
electricity. Yes, they made it easy. Just enter your account number. 4 clicks and it's over.
Introducing Quick Pay, a new service from the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission that lets you pay your bill online with your credit or Visa debit chip card. Just enter the account number and contact information. Click Pay and you're done.
From the moment you first crossed eyes,
It's a girl.
to their very first bowl of cereal, open wide. Going into parenthood means nourishing your little one to reach their fullest potential. With Nestum Nature's Selections infant cereals, give 30% more whole grain with 15 vitamins and minerals, including iron, all with no added sugar. Nature's Selection. Give your baby the best. Nestum, from 6 months onwards.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division? Yes, sir. I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries. Excuse me, sir? Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488? Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries. So I can buy a battery for $488? Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive. Which part? Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools. Alright, thanks, boss. Nah, man. Ronnie, do you have $488 to lend me?
No distance can divide us, our hope is what connects us. Though challenges we face, we're still full of resilience. If we believe together, things are gonna get better. We're closer than we've ever been, we will rise up much stronger. Just believe, just believe, just believe, just believe. Yes, we've been down before, and we will rise once more. Just believe, just believe, just believe. Hope will lead the way. Tomorrow's a brighter day, so just believe.
Believe in the future. Believe in each other, and we will get there. Be mobile. Just believe.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of 14th July 2021 stands at new positive cases 190. Total active cases 5,822. Total recovered patients 28,451. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present 35,236. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Live within your means. This is one that you've likely heard time and time again, and for good reason, because of how important it is and the significance it can have on your retirement plan. If you want to avoid taking on debt, going broke, and pushing back your chances of retiring at a reasonable age, then it is in your best interest to make sure that your overall spending is less than what you are earning to make sure you are not jeopardizing your financial future. It's always easier said than done, but it's also much easier to practice when you stick to your values and don't worry about how others are spending their money. That was your financial tip brought to you by the Street 91.9 FM.
So welcome back on the inside. Just a bit of information for you. Johnny Q for all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies. Gravel and sand now available. Don't forget Power Master, Optima Vata and Megastar batteries starting from $488 at Johnny Q, number 15 Arapita Avenue, Woodbrook, and our new location, Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago off Claude Noel Highway. Just call 63 Tools. Where is it? I have something very important here as well. Right. Value Optical wishes to advise the public that all 13 branches will now be open full-time to provide expert eye care services to you. All our regular services are now available. For your safety, we continue to practice the established health and safety protocols, and we recommend that you make an appointment for all testing services. Please call us at 225-4865 or toll-free 800-2020. For all inquiries on opening hours, eye testing availability, and how we can assist your eye care needs. Value Optical, caring for your eyes. Digicel customers get all the convenience. Now you're no longer limited to paying with your credit card. Use your Visa debit card on My Digicel app to pay your Digicel Plus and mobile bill, top up or purchase a plan. Download the My Digicel app in your mobile app store today. International cricket superstars Karen Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, Lindell Simmons and Riyad Emrit, even Raymond Ramnarayan and Ravi B has all been using Omega XL for joint pain and getting great results. So what about you? Just pick up a bottle of Omega XL right now at all leading pharmacies or call Great Health Limited at 225-0410. So live long and stay strong with Omega XL. Yes, Dominic.
Yeah, so you got the clip, the video, and everything.
That's what I was watching that on the phone.
I just wanted to play a little something from that. In response to one of the things that Senator Jayanti Lakshmi would have mentioned in her that was mentioned in the article. In her criticism of the government. Where is it?
Right. Let me see if I could get it up here.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to play that now?
Play from. You would be playing from 24 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to play that where Senator Lakshmi, she said the UNC did not leave the country's borders unsecured, while vessels were packed up in Chagaramas and the P1 variant was able to waltz through the southwestern border and come here and force us into a second shutdown. I know one of the claims that the UNC has often made was that Prasad Bisesa had secured the borders as Prime Minister, right? And it was ENM, that this Rowley administration. We know in 2010, when they came in, all of the things that Patrick Manning did, where the People's Partnership, they dismantled the radar system, the OPVs, and all of these different things. But they maintained that they bought some vessels and so. And that when they left in 2015, the borders were secure, and that it was this government, whether they're not maintaining the boats and chalala, and that's why the borders were. Just play from 24 minutes exact for me. Played for about 4 minutes.
Okay.
This is Kamla Prasad Bisesa in 2015. This is just a couple of months before the general election. And she's being interviewed. This is when she debated with herself because she refused to debate with Dr. Rowley and the other contenders for the post of leadership then. And this is Aisha asking her some questions. And let's hear how she answers. Say the answer.
Large quantity of drugs left Trinidad and Tobago for Virginia in the United States of America. It was the largest drug find in Virginia's history. My question to you is enough being done by your government to address the drug trade in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, there is always room for improvement, and this is where we go forward into our second term, that we intend to take even more stronger measures in the fight against crime. Where do the drugs come from, really? We do not manufacture those drugs. It is clear that Trinidad and Tobago has been used as a transshipment point, and therefore we need to lock down our maritime borders. Took us some time, but we now have in our country 3 out of 12 vessels, ships, that will be helping us in that locking down of the borders. We also intend to set up Coast Guard stations at strategic points, and so that the drugs, we don't manufacture those drugs, we don't really grow them to the extent they come from elsewhere. And in fact, the DEA has identified Trinidad and Tobago as a transshipment point. What we need to do then is to lock the borders down, build a maritime wall that will help us to prevent the drugs from coming in the first place. That quantity that was discovered, that's the one with the cans of juice, yes. I know that is still under investigation by the U.S., of course, in partnership with Trinidad and Tobago. The fight against guns as well, because the guns now, that is a weapon of choice when it comes to the murders in Trinidad and Tobago, which are still too high. There has been some reduction, but still too high. Indeed, one murder is one murder too much. Where do the guns come from? We do not manufacture these guns. We do not buy or sell, so they're coming in illegally into our country. And again, that issue of locking down the maritime borders is one of vital importance. We are working assiduously in that regard. We are working with the Coast Guard, of course, with the Defense Forces, and I'm looking to, in our new term, to create a separate Ministry of Defense. At the moment, we have ministries that are Ministry of Justice, Legal Affairs, Attorney General, National Security. Under National Security, you have the police service falling, protective services, and including the defense force. But I'm looking to a model I've seen in more developed countries where we can have a Ministry of Defense dealing with those matters and dealing with border controls. That too can assist us, I think, administratively in locking down the borders in that regard.
Yes, I noticed you said a little too late. So are you admitting that it was an error to scrap the offshore patrol vessels?
No. I am totally convinced it was the right decision. There was a breach of contract on the part of BA. The cost of those vessels was exceedingly high, that we could not at that time withstand that kind of cost. I had made a comment then, and people are saying, look, you've changed your mind. I had made a comment, we need to lock down what's happening on land. I spent the resources then on CCTV cameras throughout the country, increasing the number of vehicles, increasing the GPS, putting GPS, I had promised that, into every police vehicle, more police officers, more these SRPs coming in, more human personnel to try to work with on land. Within that time frame, it takes time to do a proper a procurement process to go forward. I do not regret shutting down the UPVs. They were bad for us then, and I remain committed and dedicated to the view they are bad for us at this point in time. Instead, what we are getting are long-range patrol vessels. The OPVs were to be 200 miles offshore. Look, we are little two islands here. We need to lock around us. We will get in this shipment, the ships that are coming, the long-range patrol vessels will take us off to a certain point. We're getting interceptors who will bring us closer in. These, I think, will be more suited, and they're coming in at much less of the cost for just those two OPVs, which were defective, if you remember. They were defective. Even when it was delayed repeatedly, the defect was never remedied or repaired. Today, the gun systems. Yeah.
Yes, Dominic.
Yeah. So they locked down the borders, right? Now, what I consistently heard there, maybe I heard wrong, my interpretation is bad, is that we need to lock down the borders. This is 2015. This is just mere months before you demitted office. After 5 years of the highest energy revenues in this country's history, 5 years later, you're admitting the borders. We need to lock down the borders. 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, you didn't know that? 2015, you're now trying to lock down the borders. I thought the UNC saying that Kamala did that. So Kamala lying on herself there then. She just admitted the borders wasn't locked down. They were now trying to do that. But you want to blame this administration. And when Dr. Rowley and other ministers point to the fact that we are where we are now because of what they did, when you blame Kamala and blame the UNC and blame the UNC. So who you want to blame? What is supposed to happen is that when you have an administration, you move from one administration to the next. Each administration is supposed to build on what the other left, right? And if they did such a great and stellar job at locking down the borders, what happened? Tell us now. You hear what she said there? Drugs coming in, guns coming in. We don't manufacture drugs here. We don't manufacture guns here. So how it was coming in? He probably was going at midnight and taking the key and opening the borders and allowing the drugs and the guns to come in, and then he closed it back. Chong used to do that, so different members of the opposition then used to go to the different points that the stuff was coming in to open the borders, because the impression that we get from listening to UNC supporters is that the border was a physical wall or gate that they could open. But you just heard Kamala say there for herself at 2015, she didn't lock down the borders. She brought in, she says, 3 of 11 vessels or 12 vessels that they purchased. That is now mired in controversy, corruption, damning. That apparently allegedly some government minister from the People's Partnership solicited bribes for that deal. I wonder if Tabakit is going to call in this evening with evening news to tell us about that. What's the latest development to that? Or maybe perhaps Central could tell us about that. Since Sunday he called and he wanted to know about what's happening with the case with Land 8. What's going on with that case, Central? Tell us now. I'm curious to know. Who was the minister? But Ole did such a stellar job. Yes. All them millions, 60 billion from NGC, all the millions you all are and billions, all of a sudden, all you know, billions and billions. But your beloved Prime Minister, the mother of the nation, just admitted, 2015, she now looking to lock down borders. She couldn't do it in 5 years with all that money. This administration has had less money, and all they expect miracles overnight. We should get open the lines.
3420081466539. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. I'm good morning to you, Dominic, Romain.
Morning.
Yes, and Jack wanted to also say that after he left the UNC, they said that how the radar didn't work for 3 years. He said when he was there, he tried to fix it, but it never fixed. Yeah, he continued asking for the radar, but I hope the radar is working now. On the mountains, I hope it starts to work. Dominic, it's frightening in this country to hear this morning what you said. Because to see that Dr. Mudilal is standing his ground, and this big senator, this new senator, so I don't care, I'm going ahead, I want my vehicle. Come and put her foot in her mouth, wrap in the open, because she wants to go a vehicle. So she want to know, okay, it's in the public domain, but and that is how the population of this country is. So that's what politicians could come and tell me what they're going to do in the face. Why is a serious topic like this in the front line? People are being investigated. All kind of things going on in this country with this hot exemption of the day. You come on the Monday night forum to say, hey, lift up your hand. Why is it you talking to poor people? Why is you adjusting your poor viewership and your poor listenership to lift up your hand to say, I still green for it? That is a weak opposition, because there's issues on the burner. I know why they cannot talk about it, because they compromise. They compromise because I looked over last night on the UNC official page yesterday to look to see if any article I seen on Express on the page, because I know I know a topic like that, they would have run with it and put it on the page. But the opposition that week, everything that come with rolling and them could counter attack it. Everything that come with the rowdy government regime could come and counter attack it. They are weak. And there's a bunch of new fights. Some new individuals who sucking on the leader neck. They're sucking. They're like sucking her. They want to control. Who is councillors want to become MPs? Who is councillors want to become MPs? There are a certain councillor every single day. He get a chance. He go by the Red House and to go to Petia, you know. Every single day he get a chance. He go by the Red House and he posted up putting his suit and he go and sit down outside the Red House, Petia, watch it and but what is this? What is this? So our mentality is just to be MP for Kuva. Our mentality is just to be MP for Superior. That is our mentality. Not to be MP for no other ways. So we see the big bad senator, the lawyer come out in front and say, yes, the topic hot on the table. Talking to poor people, poor individuals on other Monday Night Live, telling the country how rowdy this, how PNM this, no hampers this, no hampers that. But the good listener raise up Sharon and say, don't matter, a senior cabinet, a senior MP of the opposition said that he stand with the ground, he's going on the Prime Minister to clip it, to say no, I'm going ahead. What our country they don't, when we have an opposition cannot come and counter attack our government, they have to go silent on certain issues, what come in front. It's so sad. I alone fighting. I fighted more than the UNC MPs and them. I fighted more than the senators and them, all of them, because, well, no Douglas, you know, could make a winning next election. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to my two darling sons. How you all going?
Morning, mother. How you doing? We good?
Morning, Mr. Dominic. Good morning, everybody out there. Morning, people. Morning, Sharon. Oh, yeah, boy. I listened to my son kids this morning. Well, boy, talking about Lago so early in the morning. Is that Lago talking back? Oh, my God. I don't want no man is an island, son. You could stand up and fight a bunch of water, they will eat you wrong. Because I am not trying to identify your morals of a rant. I don't know what show the really on. I try to analyze it. Even though I don't see the politics like I used to be. I want to analyze, I want to walk behind it to see where you're going, but you're so baga, Jamaicans say baga, you're confused. And I know you're very confused. All you have to do, come and let me get a good big nice cup of valleys juice, sweet with honey, and get a nice, we will give you a bath, a cooking bath, and then we will put all these shirts on you. And if it's like Sunday morning, stop worrying yourself. You have to try and make some babies right now. You're killing yourself because you want some babies, some little boys and girls to call you daddy. Don't worry, these old fruits, you know. It's trouble you're looking for. They will kill you. You know, they jealous of your young energy. Forget them. And you move on with your life. And to all of the people out there, I kind of confused. I'm a big 73 years at third. I'm kind of do understand. Jabba, good morning. Good morning, Mr. L.I. June. These people still in Mr. Radio. Oh, God. I don't even remember some of your name. But we're going to do that. Is how it is. I don't mind my own business. So my own business. Because I still mourning the loss of my darling beloved husband. But you know how that is going. Right, guys?
Yes.
So let me stay here and get back with strength. The physical strength is, the spiritual strength is there, you know, but I need both of them to put together to have the energy to fight a good fight, all right?
Yes.
So love you all out there. Continue to pray and be safe and take your vaccine. Take your vaccine. But I never hear about Tata that Yadalena and insurance. Oh God, all what the man do to please all you can't understand. You get that instant person who you don't keep those secrets for nobody. So given the vaccine, they say now some kind of vitamin C. Oh my God. But I'm telling them again and again, such that the Lord's anointed and doing profit no harm. All of us dead before Dr. Only move from this. Trust me. All of continue going for that man. God will move the obstacles in his way. Because he put him there. The Lord Jehovah has put Dr. Only there. And all of it, be careful. I'm God. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, mother.
Good morning. All you have me sit down and doing my work, can't talk to anybody else. Phone. Anyhow, all you got to help me pay for it. Let me hear, earlier in the program, I heard some of your topics where somebody said about 300,000 people lose their work. I want to let them know, and none of them ain't die yet from hunger. And you know why? Because the money where the government borrowing that they said they don't know what he's doing with it, he used it to help to feed them while they're out of work to save their lives so that they were able to get back to their jobs, their lives they were trying to save, and he was feeding them with that money. Also, what I want to say, what the UNC and them would have done during this COVID, they're not saying what they would have do that Dr. Olean doing and whatever it is. And all the wrong things they want to say Dr. Oli is doing, that is their way of doing things, and they are wondering why he's not doing it. If it was them, they would have done it because that is the way how they know it. And they are campaigning to lose. There was another article that was played where I hear a man selling out himself to the country and to the world. We don't want to know a private business where you erectile dysfunction. If you know you have COVID and you take vaccine, where you coming to tell us about that he is erectile dysfunction about? Like keep it to himself, to his wife and whoever friends he has. They tell them and the doctor will know that what to help him with something. We coming on radio and shouting out and telling people that about Dominic and Bruce. They telling us about yourself about we don't want to know. Like keep it to yourself. Okay.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Morning, train the big Miss Napuna. Good morning to you. Morning, girlfriend, Passy Street. Dina, then they get up. Napuna, Sam and everybody. Morning, Guns and Mount Globe. Good morning. Well, all we have to do is cut our castrate, keep on the line, keep straight ahead. Dr. Rowley, hold the steering wheel, mash the X, full bore ahead. Who ain't want to come out the road, lick them down. When I say lick them down, I mean politically lick them down. Because everything you do, Dr. Rowley, you do it wrong. You take a vaccine, you take water. You take the vaccine, you spray the vaccine. I want to know when Miss Camilla will take her vaccine, or is she take it already? Miss Camilla let me ask you a question that they asked you long ago and you didn't answer. Did you smoke marijuana? Did you used to smoke marijuana? Do you still smoke marijuana? Do you drink? Do you still drink? Did you vomit down the helicopter? Did you overspend the people money in the country on that nonsense? Love the train and the bagel. Miss Camilla Pussat.
Hey. Manu, you cut off before time.
Manu.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Morning.
Jenna, I want to ask that question this morning. You see, everything according to the last caller is damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's the situation, and we have to realize that these people, they can do what they want. They will always hear Dr. Rowley, because you know why? He's an African man, and they don't like to see African people holding leadership positions in this country. That's the bottom line, you know. Kingsley and all of them, Kingsley now start to realize what's going on. You understand? But here what happened, they will have to take it, because our goodly president, African, our prime minister, our chief justice, our DPP, and the governor of our central bank. Or let's take it there. You have doctors like Hines and Dr. Chutman and them every day in front of your face, or they will have to take it there. And before I leave Dominic and Bruce, I want to tell people something. For all who say this predecessor woman is mother this country and all them kind of bacchanal, look what dangerous these people is. And that's why God will never allow that woman to come back prime minister of this country. You round up thousands of African youths. You didn't go Dibe, you didn't go Penal, you didn't go Barako. You went and you lock up thousands of little African boys. Right? Innocent. Cost this country millions of dollars. And you know what the hurtful part about it, Dominic and Bruce? The same people who made the laws to lock up these little black boys all over the PNM constituency turn around now and representing them against the state. That is how dangerous this United National Congress is. And people in the East-West corridor, they want to tell us, well, forget that. We can't forget that the nasty decisions they make in the past is what coming to haunt us today. And we have to keep the population abreast of everything, what is going on, while we are here, how we reach here. Fellas, good morning. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Morning again, fellas.
Morning.
Dominic, we have more vaccines from this Chinese batch here. There's more vaccines coming at the end of the month. From the African nation. And the
yes,
American.
Johnson.
I hear you, Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic. The Johnson & Johnson vaccines.
Right, it's supposed to be getting so the country going to open up for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the days are coming and they see, you see, and my boy just said that so called they have a problem with African people in leadership, that jealousy and envy. Well, I laugh and smile. Look at top of that. Whether I have somebody very close to me in the leadership position, you know. And when you're ready to talk, you just tell me, don't get sharp with that. That's the jealousy, but the strength with our intelligence. I ain't saying everybody like that. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of the times it is that. And it's because they cannot, and they talk about the 1%, right? And Dr. Rowley is a black Syrian and all them things. Hey, Dominic, you listen to your partner Wall Street, boy? You see, watch me, as I tell you, I'm from the streets. And I always listen to that fella. And you see, when you grew up in a certain community like me, you see when your man always whipping that academia over your head, every time Wall Street at the end, you have to tell you he's Professor Wall Street and he's this and that. These fellas are about promoting themselves. Sharon, girl, you really need a friend now, boy. And I don't make no apology because I grew up from them fellas. And them fellas feel that academia is the only way to success, and that is not true. That is not true. And that has nothing to do with integrity and your value system. And that is why you behaving like that. Not because you're part of a team. You can't get where you want and in the time that you want and how you want. You mash up, the whole thing must mash up. So all you want to do is all about you all the time then. It wasn't about the whole. It was about you and your ego. These fellas are egotistic and selfish, and that doesn't say that they are nice. And not because a man gives something and he gives something and he gives something. That don't say that those genuine and they're nice. These fellas are about promoting themselves, and this is the result why they're behaving. Tabakit is our next one. Tabakit tell you
Right? He's a black man, but he's Indian at heart. He tell you go and listen to classical Indian music, and it wasn't all them killings on the East-West corridor. He never tell you go and listen to conscious music with Bruce playing, you know. He say go and listen to Indian classical music. Kabakit is on record and tell you that. He's a black man, but he's Indian at heart. So I want a lot of people to study. Who again will they think like that looking like me, Bruce and Dominic? Fellas later.
Yeah, Bruce. So as he mentioned, Wall Street. So I learned yesterday that I'm a member, a part of the Go Along, Get Along gang.
Okay.
Yes. The PNM Go Along, Get Along gang. So we are going along, defending the government so that we can get along. Okay. I do what I do, Bruce, because I believe that the PNM is far superior to the UNC. When I look at it, I look at corruption record. And I look at the corruption record of the People's Partnership from 2010 to 2015. I am not too like these others. I mean, we could go back to 1995, 2001. We'll say, compare apples with apples, 2010 to 2015 to what we've had from 2015 to now. And let's look at corruption record. How many government ministers, and I keep asking the question under this administration, have been accused of being bag of money ministers? In 6 years, how many of them have been accused of taking bribes and soliciting bribes from contracts? None. But that was the order of the day from 2010 to 2015. And that is why I do what I do. I don't come here 3 days for the week or whatever as the opportunity presents itself because I looking for anything. That's not me. So I don't understand this go along, get along thing. If Wall Street if he needs something or he wants something, okay, well, he had to pick that up with whoever. But that's not me. I do this as a labor of love for me, and I've always made that point lucidly clear. So, if opportunities present itself, no problem. But I am not out there doing that because I want something. Not at all. Just say it.
Them know themselves, yes, that way they talk them thing.
Yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Hey, Bruce, morning.
Hey, morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
Chance, Teresa Conliffe, Mammy Sauce, Miss Cummins, Clem, Coco, Ocham, Jennifer, Paul in New York, Satsky, Sandu Good. Hey, Bruce.
Oi.
You know the guy before, right? He gave a good contribution, because Bruce, let me tell you something. All this corruption under the People Partnership, right? If them didn't steal all that money, right? We would have been in a better situation today, boy, Bruce. People calling on different shows and they want this and they want that. But nobody in asking Kamala Bissessa what she did with our money when they was in power from 2010 to 2015. Everybody want the PNM to give them everything, right? But being asking her, where our money going, where our billions of dollars going? If we had that today, Bruce, with this pandemic, the government would have been in a better situation. Eh? They want this, they want that. Eh? But nobody asking. So as Dominic say, if you had to sit down and analyze which party will support, one is corrupted and one is not, and one is trying to do things to the country and bring back our money, you will have to support. So if you know, go along, get along, is what people saying. And you have to be in Trinidad to know what's going on in Trinidad. You understand? Because what we are seeing, and when you all present the facts to us and you analyze it, that corruption went on and nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants building. They want this, they want that. But nobody asking Kamala them, where we money? Where we money? You understand, Bruce?
Yep.
So that why people be aware. A coalition government does not work. Everybody is be interested for themselves. So we have to get a government, like how Dr. Wally have our interest to bring our money back. that is the government we should support. Okay, Bruce? Have a good day.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
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 Well, our first-time caller calling from Ari Village Branch Road, Princestown.
Welcome in the inside.
Morning to
Dominic.
Well, I'll give, yes, Dominic.
Morning.
I'll give you a nice Victor boost. Right. Gentlemen, I am 65 years of age, okay? And my problem is, why did Mr. Pandey close down those youth camps? Now, we all know if those youth camps, it were running, a lot of these youths would have something to hold on to. And it's so sad that like, you know, it just happened and like hardly anybody looks at that, but that is very serious. That is very serious. And the other problem I have is this. The partnership, when they came in, they did a lot of wrong things. If they did one good, they did 95 bad. and it hurts me, as I say, to see now what is going on, because it's the first time in my life I ever witnessed an opposition like this. Because it looks to me like every day they want an election to call. Right? And it's so sad. But I don't want to take much of your time with us. It was nice being with you all, and I shall see no more. One of you, brothers.
Yeah, man. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
How are you all going?
Morning.
Okay, here my take on this. All these groups, all these different entities that ganging up for one man, a blank man, they will fail. It makes no sense. And I'm listening to Wall Street yesterday. I understand his plight. I have seen it, yes. I think PLM should do better for some most of their ground troops and people that work with them. But at the end of the day, how you could sit down with people who don't have no interest for our country and you saying you for the country, it's making no sense. God said to separate yourself from ungodly people. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, right, President, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Dominic, Mr. Dominic.
Yes, sir.
You know, just under an hour or so ago, I was talking to a farmer, and here what he telling me. He said right now I have over 1,000 pounds of cassava in the back of my van. Me and my son, my two sons, up to 11 o'clock last night, we stay up washing it, putting it together, because when I go up non-deaf school, he go in non-deaf school, right? If that is the proper pronunciation of the word. And I said, but wait, for every day I hear people talking about the hungry and this, and he said when you go up there, it could easily, today we could easily get about 10,000 pounds of cassava up there. There are about 100 people up there passing out things to make hampers so the government could send out to the different constituencies to try and deal with the situation as best as possible. Means saying that people out there probably going hungry, especially on the female side. But you see the men and them, they can't pose up in your house and boil you hungry, especially if you have 5 children. Right? God has helped those who help themselves. You see the drain on the side of the house there, the place where always wet there, you could plant some dashing bush there. Half wet, you ain't bound to cut. You could leave half to go, so you could eat dashing later, and you could eat the dashing bush the next half. Right? The place where they throw all that rubbish and bush growing up and things, you clear down and put some fig tree there. And the old man at the side of your house there, where There's we plant in your garden and leave them cassava tree for bush to grow up in. You could break a couple of these sticks, build a bank, hey, we are the health we serve. You understand? So that thing about we hungry and we hungry, that is a waste of time. Because to the other day, I see a woman cussing the Prime Minister from Barpo. And a couple minutes later, a man showing me a place right in Penal with people donating things for people who really in need the necessary basics to feed the family. Because we have that existing here at this point in time. So people who trying to put it out there that people starving in Trinidad, you only starving because you want to starve. Forgive the children and the women to extend, but the men and them all have to take care of their family, right? All have to take care of their family. And one more thing I want to say, tip my mind there, you know. But, all right, is there anything, well, I guess I get across my point. Stand of starvation in Trinidad, all you have to get up and try and help the government as best as possible to deal with the situation. It makes no sense making everything into a confrontation. And you see what Dr. Molina, you read about Dr. Molina there, and you said what you said about him there this morning. That is the highest form of contempt you could ever have for your constituents. They used to do that in the Victorian days, in the era where it used to have royalty, who could come and just take your land and do what they want with it and things. You understand? That is authoritarian rule, or whatever you call it. We operate under a democracy. So that is the highest form of contempt. But you know, people still vote for them because they could do anything and get away with anything. But on the PNM side, they have to try and do things the right way because the people who don't support the PNM, somehow, they don't support those type of things. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Could probably take another call before we get ready to close off. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Dominic and Bruce.
Morning.
A guy called this person yesterday on the Path of Schools program and said that Dr. Rowley sided with Canada to bring down Manning. I can't recall that at all. I recall Dr. Rowley as a backbencher and who didn't have much say in any other debate as a backbencher. But what I could also say is Dr. Rowley's issue with Manning is called a hat. And UNC used to call a hat to bring down Manning. Because when I looked at it, Dr. Rowley is right. You can't have a chairman spending billions of taxpayers' money without the knowing of the line minister. And that is what Dr. Rowley is trying to get to Manning. Because how it works is that the chairman and them will, because they are the technocrats, they report to the minister. The minister take it in the cabinet meeting and they deal with it, and then that's how the money spent. But you can't have Calder had making decisions like that to spend taxpayers' money on doing it. And that is what Dr. Rowley stand on his wrong. And had not Dr. Rowley done that, when they had the commissioner inquiry into Calder hat, Dr. Rowley knew is thinking to that because they'd have using that today to say that they know the corruption with Calder hat and Dr. Rowley and Calder hat and all them sort of thing because they're going to easily switch that from Manning to Dr. Rowley. And I have seen where Dr. Rowley will be asked questions by the media and he say he has to, that's a cabinet decision. So when the cabinet meets, he allow the cabinet to discuss it and then, he'll come and say, so on it. That wasn't happening under Patrick Manning. So Patrick Manning, it was his own fault. That is why he was to call that early election because some of the things that he was doing, he was ought not to be doing it. But then again, when you have a party like a PNM with a general council that has nothing to do with the government, but when you come into the party issues, and if you're not, as a leader, you're not doing the right thing, you could take your issues to general council, and general council will be a mediator between it. But we don't see that in UNC. You know how much questions Kamala Prasad-Bifesa has to answer, and she don't answer nothing. She don't face the media to take any questions. That's what she have never done it. She will never do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. So, guys, that's basically all the time we have for today. Our daily word is awake. Fully awake, I see clearly. Upon awakening, I face a day filled with infinite possibilities. I open my senses to the world around me. Its sights, sounds, aromas, textures, and flavors. My world feels new, full of promise and potential. I feel as though anything is possible. I feel this way too as I awaken on my spiritual journey. I embark upon my spiritual path anew and open myself to a new experience of God, free from old ideas and preconceived notions that no longer serve me. Unencumbered and freed from old ways of thinking and feeling, I wander with an open mind, pray with an open heart, and feel my oneness with God anew. I am an awakened soul. I open myself to extraordinary insights and new perspectives beginning this very moment. Awake my soul. Psalm 57:8. So guys, that's all the time we have for today. It was a pleasure being in your company. It was a pleasure having you in ours. And as we say, Dominic.
Ciao.